What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a look at some new Keyforge cards. Gen Con is going on at the moment. The Saurian Republic is a new house which has been revealed to be in Wave 3, that being Worlds Collide. And with it being Gen Con, cards are kind of being leaked in various places with, let's say, not always the best quality, but we do have a whole bunch of Keyforge cards, and over the next few days, I will be bringing you all the new cards that have been revealed, because I'm nice like that. Now, I need to give a shout out in this video to the lovely folks over at Crazy Killing Machine, a lovely bunch of content creators that have just popped up in the UK, because the majority of cards we're looking at today came from them. They rock. But we need to start off looking at the Colosseum. The Colosseum is a key cheating card, meaning you are allowed to forge a key out of turn. Well, it's on your turn, but just not paying 6 amber at the start of your turn. And it's ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. It's fully ridiculous. It is an artifact that reads, after an enemy creature is destroyed when fighting, put a glory counter on the Colosseum. It then has an Omni ability, meaning you can use it regardless of which houses you're active. If there are 6 or more glory counters on the Colosseum, remove 6 and forge a key at current cost. Now, there are multiple reasons why this card is utterly ridiculous. Number 1, you can keep going. So if you can get 12 glory counters on, you can forge a key 2 turns in a row. Now, to be clear, this doesn't let you forge 2 keys in 1 turn, because you have to exhaust an artifact to use it. So if there's 4 or more glory counters on, you exhaust it to forge a key. But next turn, if there's another 6, you can forge another key. And it doesn't even have to be a Saurian turn. Honestly, this looks like one of those cards that's so good it might end up getting nerfed or errated in some way. Because if you have this in a deck that is really good at fighting and destroying creatures, essentially if you can destroy 6 creatures in a turn, you just forge a key at current cost. Now, you're still going to have the 6 amber, admittedly, but that's fine. We don't mind this. This is absolutely fine by us. You're paying 6 amber to forge a key anyway, but now you can just forge mid-turn. Now, we've seen a bunch of key cheating cards along these lines before. We've got stuff like Key Charge, which lets you lose an amber and then forge a key at current cost. And Key Charge, it's one of the ones that works most often, I think is the fair way to put it. The thing is, it's an action, so you've got to draw into it. This is an artifact, it's just there. And the thing is, maybe your opponent has a barehanded, so that they can get it off the board, or some other way to get rid of it. But maybe they don't. And if they can't get rid of it, you can just keep going. But let's say they can get rid of it. They've got to get rid of it the turn you put it down. The turn you put it down, you can get glory counters, because that's a permanent skill. You cannot use the Omni ability in 4 to turn you put it down because it goes down exhausted. You have to wait for it to be readied and then exhaust it to use it. Okay, fine, that's by the by. But it forces your opponent to have an answer to it now. And if they don't have an answer to it now, you can just have a big turn of fighting and then forge a key. And your amber can't be stolen. That's one of the best things about Key Charge. There are a million different cards that we've seen, like Bait and Switch and like Urchin, etc., that can steal a bunch of amber. And that's why Shadows is so popular, because Shadows has all these stealing cards. So you get 7 amber, you pass your turn, your opponent steals 2, it goes to the start of your turn, now you've only got 5, you don't get to forge a key. But a card like the Colosseum lets you go, I've got 6 amber, 6 glory counters, boom. And the fact that you can be collecting glory counters the turn you play it is ridiculous. The fact that it has an Omni ability so it can be used regardless of your active house is ridiculous. Honestly, yes, it is slightly narrow in that you've got to be pretty good at fighting and gaining amber. I get that. So you're going to be in an awkward position where you need to reap 3 times to get up to 6 amber, but you also need to fight 3 times to get 3 extra glory counters. But make no mistake about it, there are going to be decks that can gain a bunch of amber and destroy a bunch of creatures. And then, oh my goodness. Now we do also need to be super clear that you only get a glory counter when you destroy a creature when fighting. So playing something like Coward's End, Gateway to this, etc. isn't going to do it, has to be in fighting. But there's plenty of ways to gain amber without reaping, and then you can do your fighting. I just think this is going to be absurd. I think there are going to be some decks with this which is ridiculous. It seems like it really should be limited to 1 per deck in the way that some cards are, because otherwise you can have 2 the Colosseum down, and then every time you destroy creature fighting, you put a glory counter on each of them, and it's just... This seems like it's got potential to be genuinely, utterly broken. It's kind of like having a key charge down, except you don't have to draw into it, you can just leave it down, and you got to do a bit of fighting. I don't think the fact that you've got to destroy creatures is going to make this garbage. I am in love with this. Now, there is another card I'm absolutely in love with that has been revealed in terms of Saurian cards at Gen Con, and that is Chant of Hubris. You see, Chant of Hubris is a very, very important card. Chant of Hubris is an action card, and it reads, when you play it, move 1 amber from a creature to another creature. Okay. So, I mean, that's really good if you capture amber, because remember, when amber is on a creature, it goes to the other player when that creature is destroyed. So you capture amber, I don't know, maybe something like a Vault Keeper, for instance. Then your opponent can get it back by destroying the creature. But here you get to move it from one of your creatures to one of your opponent's creatures, then destroy them, and then you get to have it all back. Tell me that doesn't sound good, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me that doesn't sound fun. But it is way, way more important than that, because we have a mechanic, a new mechanic in Worlds Collide, which is Exalting. And Exalting basically says that you have to put an amber from the common supply onto your creature, but then you get a bonus for having done so. So one of the creatures we looked at the other day was Paraguardian. 6 power, 1 armor. You may Exalt Paraguardian, but then ward each of its neighbours. Ward is another new mechanic. You put a ward counter on, and then when it would be damaged or removed from play, you remove the ward counter and nothing else happens. I went through all the new mechanics in a video the other day. I'll link it in the description. Point is, you generally get really powerful effects for Exalting, but the problem with Exalting is that you have to put an amber from the common supply onto your creature. If your opponent then takes down that creature, they get the amber. Well, what's amazing here about Chant of Hubris is that you then get to exalt a creature, move the amber to one of your opponent's creatures, destroy that creature, and then you get the amber. Exalt is generally do something really good, but then you have to leave an amber ready for your opponent to go and grab. Chant of Hubris gets rid of this. That's why I'm so in love with it. It seems like Exalting is a big thing when you're playing Saurians. It seems like there are quite a few cards which are going to deal with this. So I absolutely adore the fact that we're going to have a card like this to get around it. Because if you're playing a whole bunch of Exalting cards against a deck which is really good at fighting, what's inevitably going to happen is that you're going to Exalt, and they're just going to destroy your creatures, take the amber, and you're going to lose. I'm not saying this is going to completely and utterly reverse this, but I am saying it is going to go a long way to getting rid of the negative. We're also getting City State Interest. It is an action card. When you play it, each friendly creature captures an amber. Capturing's great. This allows you to capture 1 amber for each friendly creature. This is a phenomenal stopping your opponent forging card. It's great. Now, capturing is a short-term solution, right? Stealing, Your opponent loses the amber, you get it back. Think bait and switch before the errata when you could literally just nick half their amber if you didn't have any. It's not the same. Capturing, you take it away, and at some point in the future, they can get it back. You're not stopping them forging per se, you are delaying them, but delaying them by a turn or two could be all you need to go ahead and win the game anyway, so we are totally okay with this. The other thing is that if each of your creatures captures a single amber, then it is far less likely your opponent can just take out all of your creatures and get them all back. And that's pretty gosh darn good. The last one we're going to look at in this video, and there will be another video with the rest of the Saurian cards that have been revealed rather shortly, is Phalanx Strike. Yeah, sounds like it's going to do a whole bunch of damage. That's what the name seems to suggest. And frankly, ladies and gentlemen, you won't be terribly disappointed. It is an action card. It gives you an amber bonus. And it reads, when you play it, choose a creature. Deal 1 damage to it for each friendly creature. You may exalt a friendly creature to repeat the preceding effect. So, one of the key things to note here, it says friendly creature, not friendly ready creature. So if you've played 2 or 3 creatures this turn, you will be able to do the extra 2 or 3 damage this turn. That's pretty crucial. That's awesome. And then you can exalt to repeat the effect. So you put an amber on there from the common supply. Once again, anytime you do that, you are at risk of your opponent destroying the creature and getting that amber. But then you get to do it again. This, I mean, on its own, it's a pretty good card. You get an amber and you get to deal a whole bunch of damage. The fact of the matter is that you're going to know here if it's worth it. In some games, it will be worth taking the risk of exalting a creature because what you're actually doing is taking out a second creature that you really want off the field. And if it's not worth the risk, don't do it. I'm kind of liking these Saurian Republic cards. I am absolutely in love with the Colosseum. The Colosseum seems amazing. And the rest of them seem pretty gosh darn good as well. There are some others we need to have a look at, but I don't want this video getting too long. So in a couple of hours, I will bring you another video with the other Saurian Republic cards. Something to look forward to. For now, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think about all these cards and the Saurian Republic as a whole in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk Keyforge and a whole bunch of other games. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross and you've been watching Wossy Plays.